Arne Slot breaks silence on Luis Díaz, £65.5 million move to Bayern Munich. Liverpool transfer analysis. Imagine this. Luis Díaz, the Colombian sensation who helped Liverpool clinch the Premier League title, is now playing for Bayern Munich after a whirlwind summer of speculation. But here's where it gets interesting. Liverpool manager Arne Slot has finally shared his thoughts on the £65.5 million transfer. Slot believes Liverpool has made great business by profiting from the sale of Diaz to the Bundesliga powerhouse. The 28-year-old striker, who joined Liverpool from Porto for an initial £37 million in 2022, signed a 4-year deal with Bayern Munich until 2029. Despite earlier stating that Diaz was not for sale, Liverpool eventually agreed to let him go, partly due to persistent interest from other clubs. During his tenure at Anfield, Diaz was instrumental in Liverpool's success, scoring 13 goals and providing 7 assists in the Premier League last season. However, Slot acknowledges the bittersweet nature of losing such a talented player. Luis is a player we won the league with, and there's a reason we did, because he's a very good player, Slot commented. It's always disappointing to see someone like that leave, to a certain extent. But Slot sees the silver lining in the transaction. On the other hand, we've sold him for a lot of money, and as you know, this football club brings in incredible signings over the years. Part of the strategy is also that once in a while, we have to sell someone, he added. I think we did great business by bringing in Lucho for a number of years and then selling him for a very good profit. Despite the departure of Diaz, Slot remains optimistic about Liverpool's prospects. He highlighted several young talents within the squad who could step into Diaz's shoes, including Ngumoha, who has shown promise in preseason, Cody, Gakpo, and Florian Wirtz. If players leave, whether that's Trent Alexander-Arnold or Lucho, then you always need to replace them with quality, he explained. But sometimes quality can be in different positions. We have more than a few players who can play in a number of roles. Slot emphasized that Liverpool's approach to transfers is strategic and flexible. At this moment in time, we still have Cody, Gakpo. Ngumoha is showing very good signs, and I think Florian Wirtz can play from the left side as well. There are enough options for me to choose from. But as I always say, another thing about Liverpool is that if we see a chance in the market, we never hesitate to bring someone in. In the end, it's about quality, and we have already made some very good signings. In terms of quality, we are already in the right place. This transfer saga underscores the ever-evolving nature of football clubs and the delicate balance between maintaining a winning team and securing financial stability. What do you think about Liverpool's decision to sell Diaz? Is it a smart move, or should they have held on to him? Share your thoughts in the comments. Luis Díaz to Bayern Munich. A €75 million gamble? Liverpool's loss, Bayern's gain. Imagine a player so beloved by his fans that he incorporates a song they created in his honor into his wedding playlist. This is the story of Luis Díaz, the talented winger who has left Liverpool for Bayern Munich in a shocking €75 million transfer deal. But here's where it gets interesting. Diaz was the one who pushed for the move, leaving many to wonder what's behind his desire for a fresh challenge. As we delve into the details of this transfer, it becomes clear that this is a big gamble for Bayern, and one that could have significant implications for both the player and the club. But first, let's take a step back and look at Diaz's journey to this point. The Colombian forward joined Liverpool in January 2022 and quickly established himself as a fan favorite with his devastating pace and trickery on the left wing. He played a key role in the club's success under Jurgen Klopp and Arne Slot, helping the Reds win a record-tying 20th league title last season. However, despite his success on the pitch, Diaz's time at Liverpool was not without its challenges. He suffered a serious knee injury in October 2022 and struggled to recapture his form after returning to the pitch. Additionally, his father was held hostage for almost 2 weeks in Colombia in October 2023, which undoubtedly took a toll on the player. By the summer of 2024, Diaz was eager to leave Merseyside, and it seemed like a move to La Liga was on the cards. His father even expressed his dream of seeing Diaz play for Barcelona. But Liverpool were not willing to let their star player go without a fight, and they rebuffed an early advance from Barcelona. It wasn't until Bayern Munich came knocking with an improved bid of €75 million that Liverpool reluctantly decided to accept. So, what's behind Diaz's desire to leave Liverpool? And are Bayern getting a difference maker in their star signing this summer? The answer to these questions is complex, and it's clear that Diaz's departure from Liverpool is a significant risk for Bayern. The German club had to change course after failing to secure their #1 transfer target, Florian Wirtz. And Diaz was not their first choice. In fact, Bayern had to settle for Diaz after being rebuffed by other targets, including Nico Williams, Rafael Leon, and Bradley Barcola. But here's the thing. Diaz is not getting any younger, and his contract with Bayern will expire when he's 32. This means that the Bavarian club will have to hope that Diaz can maintain his form for the next 4 years, or they risk being left with a player who has little value on the transfer market. And this is the part most people miss. Bayern's director of sport, Max Eberl, has faced criticism for his negotiating and squad-building skills, and this deal does little to alleviate those concerns. Diaz's contract is a significant financial commitment, with the player expected to earn €14 million before taxes. This is a 66% increase from his salary at Liverpool, and it continues the trend of Bayern offering big contracts to established players. But is Diaz worth the risk? The answer to this question is not a simple one. On the one hand, Diaz is a talented player who has proven himself in the Premier League. He's a competent striker and can play on the left, making him a versatile option for Bayern's coach, Vincent Kompany. On the other hand, Diaz's arrival could limit opportunities for younger players, including 19-year-old Paul Warner, who is one of the most promising prospects in Bayern's academy. As we look to the future, it's clear that this transfer has sparked a lot of debate. Some will argue that Diaz is a great signing for Bayern, while others will see it as a gamble that could backfire. But one thing is certain. This transfer has significant implications for both the player and the club. So what do you think? Is Diaz worth the risk for Bayern? Or is this a transfer that could come back to haunt them? Let us know in the comments. And as we wait to see how this story unfolds, one thing is clear. The world of football is full of surprises. And this transfer is just the latest example of that. Arne Slot exclusive, Diaz's departure, Ngumoha's rise, and Liverpool's transfer strategy. Liverpool's summer transfer saga is a roller coaster of ambition and strategy. Just ask Arne Slot, the Dutch coach who's been at the heart of it all. From selling star striker Luis Díaz to Bayern Munich to scouting the future in teenage prodigy Rio Ngumoha, Slot's decisions have sparked debates across the football world. But here's where it gets controversial. Will Liverpool's bold moves pay off? Or are they chasing dreams that might not match the reality of the Premier League? Let's dive into the key moments from Slot's recent interview and unpack what this means for the club's future. Diaz's departure, a strategic move or a loss? Slot defended the sale of Diaz, a player who helped Liverpool win the league and scored 17 goals last season. While many mourned his exit, Slot emphasized that selling him for £65 million was a smart business decision. "We did great business," he said, highlighting the club's self-sustaining model. Diaz, now 29, had already entered his final 2 years of contract, and Bayern's improved offer made it clear he wasn't staying. The lesson here is clear. Even stars can be sold when the timing is right. The rise of Ngumoha, a teenage star in the making. At just 16, Rio Ngumoha has already captured the attention of fans and staff alike. His performances in Asia, especially against Milan and Yokohama, showed flashes of brilliance. Slot admitted that the teenager is still learning, but his energy and attitude are undeniable. He needs to show consistency, Slot said, a challenge for anyone under pressure. Yet with his talent and work ethic, Ngumoha could become a key player in the future, even if he starts off as a substitute. Wirtz's signing, a club record win? Florian Wirtz's arrival was a major coup for Liverpool, securing the club record £116 million deal. Slot called it a long-term project, noting that the club targets players who can strengthen the squad. Wirtz's integration into the team has been smooth, with his versatility as a left midfielder proving valuable. But the competition from Bayern and Manchester City made this a tough fight. And Liverpool's ability to secure Wirtz shows their depth of resources and vision. Financial strategy: spend, recoup, repeat. Slot's comments on finances were blunt. We don't hesitate to bring someone in if the chance is there. Liverpool's summer saw them sign 7 players, including 3 goalkeepers, while also selling key assets like Trent Alexander-Arnold and Luis Díaz. The total spending of nearly £300 million is staggering, but Slot argues that the club balances this with revenue from sales. The question remains, will these investments translate into trophies, or will the numbers alone be enough? The challenge of integration: new blood, old rhythm. With so many new faces, the challenge of blending them into the team is real. Slot acknowledged that adjusting to new players is natural, but he stressed that the core of the squad remains strong. Players like Wirtz and Ekitike are already making an impact, while younger talents like Ngumoha are being given chances to prove themselves. The key will be whether this influx of talent elevates the team's standards or creates instability. The final verdict: ambition meets reality? As the summer window draws to a close, the question is whether Liverpool's bold moves will pay off. With deals like Isak and a potential new centre-back on the horizon, this could be a perfect window. But Slot's words remind us that football is as much about strategy as it is about luck. What do you think? Are they overreaching, or is this the right move? Share your thoughts in the comments, because in football, the best stories are the ones we debate.